Welcome to the third installment of our Sales Plan mini-series. This episode focuses on target market. The fact that the HubSpot table of contents uses target market as opposed to addressable market is yet another reason I really love this template. While addressable market is important, in the context of a sales plan, target market should be your focus. All right, the obvious question, what's the difference between target and addressable markets? Your addressable market is all potential customers for your product or service. For example, Chicago Sales Strategy's addressable market is really just about any B2B enterprise, regardless of the size or offering. Target market, on the other hand, is a subset of the addressable market that is your sweet spot, those potential customers where your value proposition will resonate the loudest. This is the only segment your sales team should be focusing on. Remember, on average, it takes approximately 5 touches to close a deal. That level of follow-up will not likely happen if your team is not narrowly focused. Now, this in no way means you shouldn't take business that's outside of your target market. It just means you're not going to use your limited sales resources to go after it. Let's use Chicago Sales Strategies as an example. As I already stated, we can provide services for any B2B company, regardless of the size, location, or offering. However, the hit rate with Fortune 500s will be significantly lower, 1, maybe 2%, than businesses doing less than $5 million. So do we invest our own limited sales resources on the Fortune 500? No. But will we pursue an opportunity that approaches us? Of course. One of our clients today, although not Fortune 500, is significantly larger than our sweet spot, about 40 million, has their own VP of sales, and isn't located anywhere near the Chicagoland area. But yet, we're providing valuable services to them on a project basis. I'm also not suggesting you don't invest any time or energy in the non-target segments, just not sales resources. Nothing wrong with email campaigns, SEO, direct mailing, etc. Just depends on what you can afford after thoroughly covering your target market. So how do you determine your target market? It's not all that difficult, just really requires discipline. It's always too easy to fall back into the cast the wide net syndrome. Once you've determined your addressable market, it's time to take a critical look at what exactly you're offering and which segments are going to be the most interested in it. That's where your value proposition will resonate the loudest and the only place you should be investing your limited sales resources. Let's see if this real-world example helps. My last corporate role was as the China country manager for Annixter, a Fortune 500 distributor of IT infrastructure, cables, racks, security systems, all that stuff that goes into literally any commercial and most residential buildings today. Our China office was based in Shanghai, and as you can clearly see, just about anywhere you look, you'll find potential customers, addressable market. I don't think any company out there has a sales force that could competently cover that many potential customers, at least not without making huge sacrifices in other geographies. So how did we whittle down the addressable market to something that could be covered? We looked at Annixter's core strengths and selected only those that were most relevant in the Chinese market, and then took a critical look at which customer segments would be most driven to action from our value proposition, and carved everything else out. What we were left with is a target market of only 2 customer segments. This was initially a tough sell to the team as they were convinced we were focusing on too small a piece of the pie. It wasn't until I helped them recognize, key point, helped them recognize, not told them, that our current market share in that little sliver was in the 2 to 3% range. End result, a clearly defined target market was one of our keys to successfully increasing our GP percentage year over year, while still outpacing the industry growth rate. Well, that's all the time we have for today. The next episode will be looking at tools, software, and resources. Till next time, this is Rick, your Chicagoland sales strategist, signing off.